Hello, and thanks for tuning in to another photo critique. I said another as if it's two words. That's cool. Today is all about learning from our mistakes. Theme of the show. And when I say mistakes, I don't mean that you're a bad photographer if you do these things. I mean you're a bad photographer if you acknowledge that these things are wrong and you continue to do them because you're too lazy to fix anything. Yeah, that's not great. The idea of photo critiques is not about the score. It's not a competition. It's not about beating anyone or not coming in last place or any of that. It's about learning from our mistakes so that we don't repeat them in the future. And when you get someone who is trained in how to give constructive feedback, like me, then you can actually learn quickly and improve your craft as fast as possible. So my name is Mike Lloyd. If we haven't met yet, hello. I'm a professional photographer, been doing it 12 years, and I'm a certified PPA print competition judge. So I've been trained on how to look at images and how to give this kind of feedback. Also, I've got a book out on posing, and I've done, competitions and image reviews all over the country and online. I've been doing this a long time, and I love constructive feedback. So that is what I want to share with you. So let's dive in. So again, impact. First thing that I see, the face. And I feel like that's where we're supposed to go here. It is also very grainy, so it looks like this was shot without any artificial light. ISO is just up really high, which again, not a bad thing if that matches your aesthetic. But it's something you can definitely work on, shooting more wide open. I mean, the tree is a little bit more out of focus in the background, so is the knee here, so it looks like it is a wider aperture than the previous one we saw. But it looks like it's just a really dark room. And then, yeah, the first things I notice, the face, which is great. These are a bit distracting in the background. Those are things that could have either been darkened in post or just removed. I don't know if you wanted to actually take them off the tree or you can just clone them out, something like that. But having these bright, colorful bits around the face is a little bit distracting. It doesn't keep our focus on the subject. I love the pose. This hand, perfect. This one is turned a little too much toward the camera. It could be turned just a little bit more so we're not looking directly into the entire palm here. But I love how soft the fingers are, softness of the gaze. I love that she's looking down. She's got, that was a terrible arrow, looking down. Her eyes are closed. Yeah, beautiful expression, good pose. I love so many things about this. This is Christmas time boudoir for sure without being, cheeseball or cliche. Again, it's just, you need more light if you don't want all that noise, and then clean up these bright distracting bits in the background. Let's go pose-wise. Did I keep those? I did. So we can look at lines here. This part of the face is centered. It's a tad high for where I'd want it to be. Like if she could have a little bit more room up top above the head, that would be great. But overall, the image is just balanced very well. In leading lines, like this takes you down the body to the hand, brings you back up and back here. So the lines absolutely circle you around the photo. And that's why these guys are a problem, because they don't keep you moving down the same track here. All right, next. Okay. Way more light, not excessively grainy. So again, first thing is impact. I'd say it's got impact. And then as I focus looking through the image, right here is the first thing I see. Partially, it may not be the brightest point because the brightest point is up here. But remember the three things: the brightest point, the sharpest, and the most contrast. The hand and the boob are in focus here, and we have the contrast of red and then skin and red and skin and red and skin. And we have all of that. looks like a football now. All of that contrast going on there, and that's where your eyes are drawn. Plus we have like the big back of the hand right here. So normally I don't want to see the backs of the hands. Obviously you can't grab your boob like this. So that's one of those scenarios where it's fine. And the hand is turned, the thumb is tucked back there a little bit. It feels like it's cropped in too much though. And this is, what do we got? 6 by 4 3/4. That's an interesting aspect ratio. 4 3/4 by 6. Because I don't think that would go to 5 by 7. Let me see. Keep it relative. No, let's try here. Inches. Yeah, it's not even quite a 5 by 7. So I don't know. The shape is interesting to me, so I feel like it was cropped intentionally to get this. And while we are, if we draw our thirds in here, we're doing the right things. Everything is lining up where it's supposed to be, but it's cropped in too tight. Like the way the chin is cropped right here feels weird to me. I always like to crop, if I'm going to do mid-face, lips down, because you can get so much emotion out of the lips also. Or like her neck looks great, her chin looks great, she's not all scrunched and double chinning, so I think that is fantastic. But showing the lips there would add a lot more impact to the image. Also, the way we're cropped right at the top of the shoulder here, again, it's too crowded on that side. We're cropped just about through the wrist over here, which we never want to crop through joints on the body. And same thing over here. If you were to expand this image out, like I'd love to see what the original image looked like before it was cropped. It's just too tight. It feels cramped. So maybe there were distracting things in the background, or something else that just didn't fit what's going on. But you can absolutely still show this sort of detail shot without just filling the frame with that and then uncomfortably cropping other things out. So great image as far as impact goes. It's sharp. The lighting looks great. I love the pose. It's just, it's too tight. Okay. So again, impact. There's so many midtones here. And when I blur my eyes to look through it, the things that I see are right here and right here, which I don't believe either of those are supposed to be the focus of the image. And again, right here, because we have the sharpest, we have contrast and we have all the bright stuff around it. Same reason my eyes are also going over to this side. We have all this bright real estate here and we have some contrast. So there's just a lot of detail and I'm not really sure what the focus is supposed to be. To me, it looks like the sharpest point of focus is back here on this arm, not on either of the eyes, which the focus doesn't have to be on the eyes, but in an image where she's looking directly at the camera, and it's not a detail shot about something else on the body, I don't know why that arm would be the point of focus. Same thing goes with the contrast. Like it looks a little flat. So if I were to go in and add a little, curves, dropping the shadows just a little bit, more contrast, we get more pop and everything jumps out so much more. But again, when we look for the brightest point in an image, I'm still not seeing here where I believe the focus is supposed to be. And when I say focus, I don't mean the point in the image where like the focal, where the camera actually focused, but like our cognitive focus, where our brains are supposed to be looking. But we got all this texture up here. We have the texture from the bench seat or the chair, love seat. We've got the hat. We've got all these busy patterns around here. Everything takes away from the point of connection we can make with the person in this photo. Also, same thing as in the previous image. It is cropped in way too tight. We're cropped in through a knee up here, through part of the bum down here. I think her arm is hanging off down here. So now we got our thirds where we're drawn in here. Yoink. This is a great tool to use, by the way, the grid lines in Photoshop, to check your composition. So her face is a little off from this intersection where we want it to be. There just isn't the balance. There's a ton of weight in the image up here, and I don't mean her body weight, but just how much of an element is in the photo because of how cramped her legs are, plus the hat, plus the fabric, and the way it's cropped. Everything is just tight and smushed in up there. So I'm gonna make those grid lines darker. Yeah, so this needs to be cropped out. She needs to be stretched out. There just needs to be some more contrast, some more directionality here, because it's just, there's no singular point of focus in the image because there's so much going on.
Well, that was awesome. I hope you learned a ton from that video. And again, it's all about constructive feedback. It's not criticism. It's not a score. It's not a ranking. It's not a competition. It's about learning from our own mistakes and seeing what other people do as photographers so that we can constantly improve our craft. I've got some other great critiques here on the channel as well. Or you can join us in our Facebook community and be first in line when I'm asking for images for reviews. You can watch them live and participate over there. So I'll have a link to the group down below. It'd be great if you joined us. And if you want your own images critiqued in these videos, which I hope you do, email me, mike@boudoirguild.com. Or again, once you're in our group, you'll keep an eye out for all the notifications. Or since you'll be in our group, you will get notifications whenever I am doing a critique, and you can just submit your images right there, on top of everything else that you can learn from being a part of this community. You are amazing. We'll see you inside.